Hey guys, welcome to Portugal. In this video, we're going to go over the best of Portugal. In our 3-day stay, we're going to do a mini visit. We're going to check out all the cool areas. We're going to talk about public transit. We're going to talk about getting here from the airport, renting a car, driving in Portugal, and see the outside areas like Sintra, and go all the way to the Atlantic Ocean.
Lisbon, Portugal. On the western extreme of Europe is a city older than Rome, a land of the bravest explorers. In this video, we'll take you on a deep dive into the Portuguese capital of Lisbon and explore its surrounding areas. We'll learn a little bit about its history, be tourists for an afternoon and visit Time Out Market, eat local and try authentic Portuguese pastries. We'll visit villas in Lisbon's royal getaway in the famous town of Sintra, explore charming Cascais and see why this coastal village is the country's most expensive place to live, drive up the Atlantic coast on cliffs so high, and escape to Europe's westernmost point at Cabo de Joao, the edge of the ancient world. That and much more Portuguese experiences you must see in this video. We start exploring city center where most people do. High on a hill, we take you down the grand pedestrian boulevard of Rua Augusta, past the triumphant arch to the waterfront. But first, we ride the metro to Baixa Chido station.
This is the main pedestrian street here that runs up and down the hill. It's always full of people and outdoor dining.
To understand Lisbon, we look at its history. In 1755, a mega earthquake leveled Baixa. The survivors evacuated their crumbling buildings only to be greeted by a massive tsunami. And it keeps getting worse. A post-quake fire wiped out anything left standing. Being expert colonizers, the Portuguese were masters of city planning, and contemporary Baixa was constructed in record time. A grid layout was introduced for convenience and wide boulevards for fire safety.
Now you understand why all these places that the colonizers visited looks kind of like this.
18th century dictator Pompal focused on making buildings seismically sound, introducing wooden frames that absorb shaking and modular construction that sped up the process. And fittingly, this style of architecture is called Pompaline, after the dictator himself.
Behind me we have the Arco de Rua Augusta, which commemorates the city's rebuilding after the 1755 earthquake, and it stands high over the main streets to celebrate the strength of the city despite a natural disaster. From the arch we come straight out to the sea, and this square looks a lot like the one in Nice, France. And in front of us we have the Portuguese Golden Gate Bridge.
Its official name is the 25th of April Bridge, formerly called the Salazar Bridge, named after the 20th century Portuguese dictator. Now the scenic icon serves a practical purpose, linking cars and trains to Lisbon's southern suburbs.
Once a colonizer of the world, feared by the world's navies and many countries across vast oceans, Portugal now is a quiet country great for leisure and has a very diverse industry at the western end of Europe. It is integrated well within the European Union as part of the Eurozone, with euros as its main currency, making it very easy to travel here.
It's hard to imagine a few short decades ago, Portugal was a dictatorship. But today, the country has reinvented itself. Safe, easy to travel in, very clean, modern, vibrant, while preserving its old world charms. One more cool spot I want to show you guys in this part of the waterfront.
Hey guys, we're at Marcato de Riviera, which is the famous local market here. There's good local foods as well as touristy foods. Definitely do check it out. I heard the food's really good, so let's go and find out for ourselves.
Time Out Market is the center of Portugal's modern casual dining experience. To stay relevant in today's times, the traditional fish and farmers market expanded to include the new food hall. Restaurants here are mainly trendy celebrity chef brands designed around traditional recipes with a modern twist and some farm-to-fork vibes. After lunch, let's take the trolley to the district of Belem.
Still exploring the waterfront here in Lisbon downtown. This is the Tower de Belem. This is where big expeditions took place and returned when explorers went across the Atlantic Ocean to North America or to different islands around the world.
In 1497, Vasco da Gama set sail here when he became the first European to reach India by sea, kicking off the rich age of spice trades.
monument used to be on an island, but they shift in the river's course, caused it to become closer to land now.
And you can go inside and tour the tower, but prepare for a long wait. And behind us is a more recent monument celebrating a brave Portuguese aviator's journey flying across the Atlantic Ocean to the former Portuguese colony of Brazil. 5 minutes up the waterfront is the Monuments of the Discoveries. At the base is a ship-shaped sculpture. Prince Henry the Navigator leads the way with Vasco da Gama and Magellan standing close behind. Let's cross the street and see more relics of the era of discovery.
This is the Imperial Garden.
Portugal's spice trade and colonization brought home a lot of wealth. Opening up the Atlantic Ocean shifted power to Portugal away from Mediterranean countries like Italy. With this newfound wealth and power, Portugal was able to fund this grand monastery and its lush gardens.
It looks like there's a huge line to get in. Goes all the way there to there. And behind you, they have a contemporary art museum right over there.
To learn more about the Age of Discovery, stop by the Maritime Museum around the corner. There is nothing more iconic about Lisbon than its trams. We climbed the steep hill to explore Barrio Alto, the upper neighborhood.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that tram ride here. We're now going to go explore some of these side streets here. I like how old everything looks here. Just gives it some gravitas when you walk in these streets. Each block looks and feels different.
Barrio Alto survived the 1755 megaquake, meaning it preserves its old world charms with narrow alleyways and cobblestone streets. Beautiful colors surround us, from the pastel colored walls to tasteful street art built into the sidewalks. We stumble upon the 17th century Italian church. Inside, we admire its pre-earthquake architecture, its grand organ, and ornate decorations introduced by Italians working here in Lisbon 400 years ago. How does some Portuguese dessert sound? We visit a bakery to enjoy an afternoon tea and a sweet bun. And did I mention how delicious these Portuguese egg tarts are? Flaky croissant crust filled with an egg custard center. In this video, we also had the chance to explore the modern suburbs of Lisbon. Here are a few clips giving you an impression of modern residential skyrises about 10 minutes away from city center by train. Most locals live in neighborhoods like this and commute into city center. Let's take a look at Lisbon's transportation system and how you can get around the city.
The metro stations are pretty easy to use. The trains are frequent, the stations are very clean, and quite beautiful. Look at the architecture around me. We have like these archways.
There is also a frequent subway line to Lisbon's International Airport. Trams are great when you are traveling locally in city center. And for getting between neighborhoods and into Lisbon's suburbs, you'll find the clean, efficient, and frequent metro very useful. Here's what the system looks like. Purchase this transit card for unlimited access to all forms of public transport. And there are long-distance intercity trains as well. Here is what rush hour looks like in Lisbon's busiest train station. But if you want to have more control over your schedule and be able to see different places along the way, I highly suggest booking a car rental. Rental cars can be picked up and returned right at the airport next to the terminal. Very convenient.
Drivers here in Portugal are pretty nice. They signal, they are not too aggressive. Speeds aren't especially high in general. I would say they're friendlier than French drivers, German drivers.
To add another dimension to our Lisbon tour, we venture west to the rugged Atlantic coast. Our first destination, the cozy seaside town of Cascais. Its small town charm, great beaches, and Riviera energy makes it a popular coastal getaway. So popular that royal families built their summer homes here. With wars being a distant memory, The old fortress is now a gathering place for local creatives.
There's an art district here in the old marina.
We saw one artist crafting some really cool jewelry in her cute shop.
It's very small, but it's cute.
And next door, a professional painter and sculptor. We make a easy 5-minute walk into town, taking the panoramic view of the harbor, and enjoy some local eats in the pedestrian town center brimming with life. I can't get enough of the local shops and delicious desserts here. Anywhere you go, the quality of food is so good and so cheap. We might be only half an hour away from Lisbon, but it's a totally different vibe out here. It almost feels like we're in the French Riviera.
Today, the Portuguese still pride themselves in being expert sailors. Here, the marina is packed full of boats, ready to go out to sea for the next adventure.
Next, we head up the rugged Atlantic coast towards Cabo de Roca, the westernmost point of Europe and Eurasia. The Atlantic Coastal Road is an easy drive, a quiet rural 2-lane highway with high cliffs and beautiful views. It reminds me of California's Highway 1. Today, the Atlantic Ocean looks pretty angry. It might be warm, but the water looks pretty wild. Here are some raw shots I added with no music to let you enjoy the sheer power of the Atlantic Ocean. A quick 30 minutes later, we're at Cabo de Roca. Here, we stand at the last frontier of the old world. Early sailors had no idea what lay beyond the great horizon. Something to think about as we take a minute to soak in the views and reflect as we stand 400 feet above the Atlantic Ocean. A grand lighthouse stands guard. A cozy visitor center gives you an in-depth look at the local history while sheltering visitors from the fierce westerly winds. Outside is a convenient bus stop serving regular buses back to Lisbon. Incredible to think how far humanity has come in the last few centuries. With modern advances, we can now cross this expanse in a matter of hours. Crazy to think that 2 short months ago, we were standing on the opposite side of this great ocean on the shores of Boston's Revere Beach. Our next stop is the magical town of Sintra. This is one destination you won't want to miss. Once a royal summer retreat, this UNESCO heritage site is one of Portugal's most popular destinations. Whether you choose to come here by car or train, Sintra is just a quick 45-minute day trip from Lisbon. The architecture is so different than Lisbon, you might think you're in a different country. What blew my mind away was the density of history in this small town. Standing high above the village is the Castle of the Moors, built in the 8th century when Muslims ruled the Iberian Peninsula. And down below is the cozy Quinta da Regaleira, featuring lush gardens, a wishing well 8 stories deep, and a hidden network of subterranean tunnels. Its grandiose construction is the success story of Monteiro, the Portuguese millionaire who made his fortunes in the coffee plantations of Brazil. And down by the town square is the Palace of Sintra, the royal summer retreat. For dinner, we enjoy some excellent Portuguese cuisine, seafood squid and cod over rice. And to cap off this video, let's take a quick drive through the rural areas on the way back to Lisbon. It's a different way of life out here. There were children slowly making their way home from school, and retirees enjoying the lazy afternoon over a cup of coffee. As the old saying goes, it's nice to take the road less traveled.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about Lisbon, Portugal. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful for your trip planning, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thanks again for watching.